Hey everybody, welcome to my first little Q&A session. It's nice to have you all here. I hope you'll stick around. We'll have a good time, just a nice little chat. Just beginning notes, first of all. I didn't quite expect anything to come of me sitting on my couch recording, myself reading a book or cuddling a pillow from my phone. I didn't expect much of it. And I'm very honored by everything that has happened. And even with doing this Q&A, I was expecting maybe, 10 questions. 10 questions would be fantastic. And here I am sitting in front of a 30-page PowerPoint. So needless to say, I appreciate it a lot. So this is also the first time I'm sitting in front of my computer and just talking to myself for a very long period of time. So I apologize if that is incredibly evident, but it's okay. You guys have heard me coddle a pillow. You guys have heard me stumble words, so I'm not actually that worried. So I figured I would keep it pretty chill, pretty calm. Feel free to plug in some headphones, do some schoolwork while you're listening. Anything that suits your fancy. All right, so let me see. I think I started with YouTube comment questions. In the order that they were, I don't want to say submitted, in the order that they were commented. So, this first set of questions, 15 questions from Moonshine4X. First of all, you're adorable. Thank you very much. All right, as for the questions, what is your favorite color? So, I think I answered this question on Reddit or something like that. My favorite color is green, but not any green. I think that neon green is especially obnoxious. So I like to describe it as the color of matcha, like the matcha tea powder, kind of dusty green. That color. Thank you, me, for putting that in the PowerPoint. This color green, I enjoy it. What did you want to be growing up? I can't remember a single career path that I really, really, really wanted until I got to the kind of one I'm in now. I think I wanted to be a doctor at some point until I realized I'd have to listen to crying babies often. Number 3. What do you want to be remembered as, and how do you want to be perceived? That is a much deeper question than the previous 2 questions. Just over the past few days, just trying to think of how to answer this question, it's difficult. I don't think I need or want to be remembered as anything specific. I think that the part of me that I like the most is my empathy. And the fact that I can make people feel comfortable. So if anything, I want to be remembered as someone who people felt comfortable around. Maybe number 4, maybe a coming out story. See, that's something I might skip for the time being. Obviously, I've had multiple coming out stories. The first one, if you haven't caught on to the things I've commented or to the things I've said in previous posts, I am trans. So that was my main coming out as trans. And that's still a story that's in progress. I came out years ago, but, the aftermath of that and my transition is something I'm still working on. So I'm not going to tell an incomplete story, and especially not one that doesn't make me super happy to tell. Maybe in the future. As far as coming out as gay, I really haven't, because once you come out as trans, at least in my experience, everything's a little bit thrown out of whack. So I don't think at this point people care who I go out with, because they're they're still trying to figure out other aspects of me. What's your spirit animal? I think, throughout these questions, there's a few things that I was asked multiple times. A lot of them were like favorite animals, song recommendations, favorite plants. So I think for every single time one of those questions was asked, I answered a little bit differently. So my first spirit animal choice of the day is this fantastic creature, the leaf sheep. If you don't know what a leaf sheep is, you're missing out. They're so incredibly cute. Look at it. It doesn't look real. But these are little animals who can eat algae and then harness their ability to photosynthesize. And I don't know what a more exciting thing is than the ability to photosynthesize and to not be a plant. That is absolutely my spirit animal. And their eyes are very close together, and I think it's cute. They're adorable. Very important, cereal first or milk. I didn't know that milk first was an option, and I'm not here to judge you if that's your first choice, but I'm definitely a cereal first kind of guy. Any movie recommendations? I think I was also asked this a few times, but I don't really watch movies. I didn't grow up watching movies, so I know maybe 10 movies. And the 10 I've seen are, my go-to movie recommendations for everything. So I think my favorite movie is Groundhog Day. Everyone's seen Groundhog Day. I would highly recommend The Pirates of Penzance if you're a fan of old Broadway comedy. First thing you want to do after COVID is over. I want to visit the botanical gardens again. I miss them so much. What got you started in the VA/ASMR roleplay genre? Listening to them. I was I'm not going to say long time lurker, but I definitely listened to audios for a while before I considered, hey, acting is something I've done before, and this isn't too much different than acting. Why not give it a shot? So I listen to a lot of sleep aid content. I listen to a lot of comfort content, and that's primarily what I make. So in a way, it's kind of giving back for all the content I've consumed. But it also just seemed like something I'd enjoy doing, and I am a complete hopeless romantic. So that's one way for me to give a little bit of love to somebody. Number 11, why are you so adorable? That is a question I can't answer. But thank you. Thank you very much. Number 12, you don't have to answer but. You always seem to be the soft dom type of boy in your audios. Does that reflect you IRL? I think it does. I think the personality I have in my audios is very close to my personality in real life, although I think I'm a bit more confident when I'm behind a screen versus in real life. As far as being a soft dom, I think that's accurate, but also you have to remember that I, at the moment, don't make not safe for work audios, so there is more to me than what you've seen, but what you've seen is accurate, if that makes sense. Number 13, kissing sounds, awkward or okay? Well, I enjoy kissing sounds in audios, and I make kissing sounds that I hope aren't too awkward, so I'm going to say they're okay. Number 14, do you have pets? I love pets. I'm not going to say obviously, I grew up with a family dog who I love very, very, very much, and I still see him sometimes. As for pets I have with me, they are primarily plants. I have a extremely large collection of houseplants that I treat like children. Number 15, do you write your own scripts? If yes, what's the thought process? This question came up in a few different ways. The only audio that I've ever used a script for was the sensual domination audio, and that was written by a user on Reddit. All of my other content is completely improvised, and I think that's probably how I'll keep doing most of my content, just because it's easier to me, and I feel like it sounds forced when I'm reading from something, and it's hard to keep my personality intact if I'm just reading off of a page. But I would like to try doing some more script work, just because it makes me, it forces me to try different things than what I normally do. As for now, I don't really use scripts. By the way, congrats on your sub count. Love to see male for male creators rise up too. As a lonely ass bi guy, they're really comforting. Lots of love from England. Well, thank you very much. I also love to see male for male creators. It's fun to see a bunch more content becoming much more available to all different kinds of people, especially M for A, like just kind of gender neutral audios. Gender neutral audios coming out. I just realized I skipped number 8. 8 is a fun fact about you. A fun fact about me. Let me see. I guess something that's interesting, I have an auditory processing disorder. I have APD, so that's something I wear hearing aids for sometimes. Fun fact. All right. Shiny Silvio. I don't know if it cuts off the username and that's supposed to be Sylveon or if it's just Silvio. But anyways, congrats on 1K subscribers. I guess my question would be, what inspired you to make male for male or male for trans male audio specifically? Well, the answer to that question is not too complicated. I make male for male audios because I'm a gay male, and that's what I'm comfortable making. And I make my audios inclusive to trans men because I am a trans man and I understand how hard it is to find things that are inclusive. But one of the things I think is the most upsetting to see is if all of my male for male audios are tagged male for trans male. And I always have people who are talking about, like, as a trans guy, I feel very validated. Thank you for making this content. Thank you for making all this kind of stuff. I feel accepted. And it's so amazing to hear that. But it's also a bit sad because if you listen to my audios, I never have mentioned the listener being trans. So it really upsets me that trans men feel like somehow male for male audio isn't inclusive to them. The only thing I've done as far as being inclusive is the bare minimum, and that's just saying that trans men are welcome and that I actively encourage anybody who is trans to indulge in my audio and to not worry about if the creator has you in mind or not. I have you in mind. I am one of you. So that lack of representation is what makes me keep tagging every single male for male audio as male for trans male. I believe that every trans guy has the right to go listen to a male for male audio, and they shouldn't have to worry about it being triggering or being non-inclusive. Anyways, that's why I make what I make. Before I discovered your channel, it was a real challenge to find audios that were for male listeners, and I usually had to settle for M4A. I completely relate to that. Your channel has very quickly become one of my favorites. Thank you so much for providing us with so many cute and wholesome audios. Thank you very much, and I hope that I can keep doing that for you. This one's from Lime. I like your picture. I didn't know my heart could become all fuzzy like this. Also, what is your favorite plant? Okay, this is the first of maybe 5 times this was asked, and that is absolutely not a problem. I love this question because I can talk about plants all day, every day, and never get bored of them. So, the first plant I think I chose, one of my first plants that I was just head over heels in love with was a Monstera deliciosa. And I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. So feel free to correct me if you happen to know the pronunciation of the scientific name for the Swiss cheese plant. Anyways, I think I put a picture. Oh, yes, here's a Monstera. This isn't my Monstera, but I love them so much. My Monstera is my most spoiled plant. I wipe down her leaves. She has a popsicle stick with her name in it. She is very, very, very important to me. And while I love my Monstera more than anything, I think a dream plant to get one day in the future is a Variegated Monstera, which looks like this. Oh, Lord. She's so pretty. Look at her. Oh, my God. I just had to take a second and look at the plant. This is a Variegated Monstera, which just means that it has color variation in it. I think when it's almost half and half, it can be referred to as a half moon variegation. I really, really, really would love to find one of these plants one day. But I love my non-variegated Monstera more than anything else in the world. She's perfect just the way she is, and she doesn't have to be variegated to be special to me. But the Variegated Monstera is gorgeous. All right, done with everything. Me, who's been avoiding doing some work, dragging myself to do it so I can receive the serotonin properly. Oh, also, what's your favorite animal? So, the first answer was the leaf sheep, which I think is my spirit animal. I think I would be reborn as a leaf sheep. But if we're not talking about my personality in an animal and just an animal that I absolutely love, it has to be anteaters. Oh my God, I love anteaters. Look at them. They look so funny. I like anteaters for the same reason I like seeing ugly cars on the road, just because they're weird. I enjoy them a lot. Anteaters, they carry the little babies on the back. Oh my God, look at them. Because, they can't pick up the baby with that mouth. They can't pick up the baby with those knuckles. So the baby's right on their back for the first 2 years of their life. And I think that fact alone is a good reason for it to be my favorite animal. Plus, they use their tails as blankets if they're cold sometimes. Adorable. All right, Aizawa's whore. I always see people with names like this in the comments, and I absolutely appreciate it. OMG, saving this for later tonight. Why does that sound creepy? I don't think it sounds creepy. I think the creepiest thing about that is the fact that out of any color, you chose a brown heart. Anyways. On to the questions. Number 1, are you in school? If so, what's your major? I am in school right now. I'm a college student, and I'm a horticulture major, which is, I feel like that would be expected, considering how much I talk about plants. Number 2, favorite movie, show, or anime right now? So, like I said earlier, I don't really watch movies. I don't really watch many shows. I don't have subscriptions to anything. I'm trying to think if I've watched anything recently. I think the most recent anime I watched was last summer when I watched Given. It was okay. I didn't I'm just going to say I didn't expect it. That's all I'm going to say. All right, number 3, music recommendations. My music taste is incredibly varied, and not really in a good way. It's not that I can, have a playlist that everyone will enjoy. It's just that none of my playlists make sense. I was raised a musical theater kid. I did acting for so long, so anything musical theater is up my belt. Up my belt? Is that a saying? Anything musical theater up my alley. Okay. I think that's definitely the saying. It's up my alley, it's in my alley, something like that. And I also listen to classical music, which I was, also raised listening to classical music. I was a classical musician for a while. I enjoy some indie music. I really enjoy folk music, not like old Southern kind of folk music, but modern folk music, stuff like that. For the music recommendation I'm giving to you guys, it is the Woodworks album by the Danish String Quartet, because I had to be different, and I don't think anyone else is going to be recommending Danish folk music, Danish orchestral folk music in an ASMR video, so I will. I love these songs. I think out of all the ones in this album, my favorite is the Sextua from Vendsyssel. I love that song. Number 4, and the burning question, the one everyone wants to know, is Sunny your actual factual name? No, Sunny is not my actual factual name. My actual factual name is a much more generic and boring name. I love it. Obviously, I got to choose my name, but I went the traditional route with my name and just chose a family kind of name. I think Sunny is a cute name. I think it fits the aesthetic much more than my legal name. And considering how large of a percentage of people have my exact same first name, I think Sunny is much better branding-wise. So, no, Sunny is not my actual factual name. All right, Potato Boyo. First off, congrats on getting 1K subs. You definitely deserve it, and many more. Well done. Well, thank you very much, Potato Boyo. I guess I got a few questions because my head do be empty and I can't think half the time. Okay. Number 1, any hidden talents? Hidden talents. I can ride a bike without my hands being on the handlebars, and I was a classical musician. Those are two talents. Have you considered opening up a Discord server for your community? I did not expect to get this question as many times as I got this question. The answer is I don't know. Not because I don't want to interact with you guys more. In fact, stay to the end of the video and there's something there you might enjoy. But as far as Discord goes, the only reason I'm saying maybe for Discord is because I don't know how to use it. I don't know anything about the platform. I mean, I have an account. I'm part of some Discords, but I just don't know how to use it. And I feel like if I was going to be setting up a Discord that's based on me and my content personally, I would like to know how to use it and to have a little bit more control over the community. Not over the community, just over the platform. Or at least know how I could. Do you play any video games? If so, what's your favorite? The same thing with TV and shows and movies. I did not play many video games. I don't play too many video games. I play a lot of Project Diva. I have a Switch. I play a lot of Project Diva. I've played Animal Crossing. I played more Minecraft than I think is healthy for anybody. But I think Project Diva is my favorite at the moment. It's definitely the one I play the most right now. Favorite songs / genre of music. I kind of talked about this earlier. I think right now what I'm listening to the most is folk music. My little automatically generated Spotify playlists of folk music. And I also have a playlist of Danish and Norwegian orchestral folk songs that I've been listening to a lot recently. So that's my answer. Favorite ice cream flavor, if you like ice cream. I love ice cream. It doesn't agree with my body. I'm lactose intolerant. That doesn't stop me. My favorite ice cream flavor is anything citrusy, like orange creamsicle flavor, that kind of stuff. Crab soda. It's a fantastic name. Being called handsome and darling makes me go, I don't know how to say that. And just, dude, wow. Something I should say is that I have a hard time talking. But I'm trying my hardest. So, makes me go, hearts emojis, and dysphoria is no more. If I can help with anyone's dysphoria, I'm extremely happy with that. So, also question, what got you into making ASMR like this? Do people you know IRL know about the kinds of videos you make? So I already talked about why I make ASMR like this, because I want to be inclusive, because I want to create content that isn't being created for other people, and because I enjoy the content myself. Do people you know IRL know about the kinds of videos you make? Some of them do. It's a fact that I can share with some people in my life, and things that other people probably don't need to know. Orange juice, or is it orange JUIC? Congrats on the milestone. Your audios always make me feel comfortable and put me to sleep. That is fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Number 1, favorite color. That green dusty matcha color. Number 2, favorite way to spend free time. I think I spend a lot of my free time wasting away on my phone. I work a lot, so I don't have too much free time, but I enjoy indulging in the arts, which I guess ties into the next question. Do you draw or do some type of art? Yeah, I do. I've been part of a couple different art exhibitions. I'm not going to say exhibition, that's such a fancy name. More like art shows where you set up a tent and you're kind of like a vendor and people can come get your business cards. I've done that kind of stuff. I mainly do acrylic painting on canvas, but I also really enjoy fabric arts. So I've done a decent bit of crochet, a decent bit of embroidery, all sorts of stuff like that. I love trying different kinds of art. I don't really care if I'm going to be great at it. But if there's a kind of art I haven't tried, I want to do it. Recently, I got one of those rubber stamp pads, and I made a stamp of Dr. Doofenshmirtz. So, I'm expanding my horizons all the time. All right, BB_Nico. Oh, what a question. Okay, number 1, are you single? It's for a friend. Well, you can tell your friend that the answer is yes. But that is not an invitation for people who listen to my channel or who will interact with me because of the channel. That's not an invitation. But yes, I am single. Number 2, a face reveal. Okay. That's a difficult question. I don't think I will ever reveal my full face. The number 1 reason is just because I'm doing a lot of important things in my life. I'm pretty young. I think I'm pretty young in comparison to a lot of people I see in the VA community. So I think just for my safety and because I don't know, how long I'm going to be doing ASMR videos, and I don't know how things are going to go in the future, I think I probably won't do a full face reveal. Now, this isn't to say that I won't ever do any kind of photos, just not of my face. Maybe I don't know. I follow other voice actors on Twitter, and for some reason they'll post pictures of their hands. I can do a hand reveal. Do you guys want a hand reveal? I'll give you a mid-thigh reveal. Something like that. Yeah, so maybe not a full face reveal just because of safety reasons, and I don't really know what the future of this channel is going to look like, but I definitely would like to interact with you guys more outside of just posting audios on YouTube, if that answers your question. All right, Alex Fran. First off, I love your videos so much. They've helped me so much, especially with sleep and when I'm feeling sad. Thank you for all you do. Heart. You're very, very welcome, and I send a little heart back. My question is, what's your favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner food? That's a tall order of a question. I eat a lot of fruit. That's an interesting answer. I eat a lot of smoothies, so I would happily eat those for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I could. Put some fruit in a blender and drink it. That's kind of my favorite thing. If tea counts as a breakfast, lunch, or dinner food, that's also very high up on the list. Lego Me has basically watched every video of theirs. This video allowed me to introduce myself. Edit, I also have a question. What are your pronouns? Sorry if I've already answered this question. I just want to know so I don't misgender anyone. Yeah, so I don't think I've put my pronouns anywhere, which I definitely should. I just, kind of forgot that was a thing to do. My pronouns are he, him. Those are the only ones I use. And yeah, that's it. Pretty straightforward. Thank you very much for asking. And you're not the first person to ask. Other people have asked, and I've responded in various comments. But I think it's good to say it for everybody. My pronouns are he, him. All right, Thomas Ateo. I don't know how to say that. I'm very sorry. Question number 1. Is there a genre of ASMR that you have always wanted to try, but for one reason or another stopped yourself? If so, what was the rationale for not making it? So I feel like this question is hinting at asking if I would do Nsfw ASMR videos, because I don't know what other genres of ASMR would be. I'm trying to think. Sometimes I'll see more... I do roleplay. I do boyfriend roleplay, but I think I see people doing roleplay as actual established characters, and that's not something that's particularly inviting to me. I don't feel like doing that. And yeah, that's the only other category of ASMR videos that I think you could be talking about outside of Nsfw videos. So I don't think there's anything I've really stopped myself from doing. I haven't produced any Nsfw audios because, first of all, I have to jump the hurdles of my own insecurity before I start doing stuff like that. And secondly, while I would love to make stuff like that eventually, I have to find out where I'm going to put it. I don't want to just put it out on YouTube because I want there to be stricter age restriction and more control that I can have over who watches it, just because it makes me really uncomfortable to think that any child could come onto my channel and find content like that. So maybe I would do it on Reddit, but also there it's pretty easy to just bypass the Nsfw content warnings and stuff. So I'm thinking if I was going to, it would mainly be, it might be on a Patreon, not because I'm really asking for money, but just because I want that control, if that makes sense. I hope that answered your question. Question number 2. With the subtle theme of soft dom running through your ASMR videos, have you thought about / would consider creating more content geared towards your sub-listeners, focusing on comfort and establishing a healthy headspace? I would love to make content with that. The content about that. The thing that kind of slows me down with making these non-sexual domination videos and anything that's remotely dom/sub geared is just that it definitely takes a certain headspace in order to do it. And it also requires a lot of confidence. And even if I'm not feeling super confident in myself, I can still create boyfriend audios. I can still create comfort audios because at that point, I still feel like the relationship is more of an equal exchange. But in audios where I feel like I have to be the more confident one, I have to be someone who has something prepared in my mind, and to get through that, it's a little bit harder for me to get into that headspace. But I would definitely love to make more content that is kind of soft dom, or at least having a submissive listener. So I think that's a great idea, and I'll keep that in my little notes, in my little ideas notepad. Question number 3. Did you go through any vocal training in order to pull off the sound and tone you wanted for your ASMR videos? I'm going to take this as a compliment. Thank you very much for thinking that I could have gotten training for my voice. I have not. This is just my voice. But thank you. Question number 4, last one I promise. Do you require any mental preparation to get in the proper mindset before recording a non-dom/sub ASMR video? Yes, I do. So, multiple reasons. First of all, because there's not another person to be having the exchange of a conversation with me, even if it's a pretty relaxed audio where I'm just reading or I'm just talking to somebody, I still have to have a plan of what to do. And I still have to direct the conversation because there's nobody else contributing to the conversation. So I have to be pretty confident about what I'm going to do before I start recording. And also, I haven't exactly done any reverse comfort content yet, which I would love to do. But right now, I mainly record content when I feel like I can be giving comfort, and when I feel like I'm in the best mindset and headspace to do that. So yes, I do require mental preparation to record anything. From Faye, muahaha, I arrived just in time for sleep. Perfect. Also, congrats on 1K. I can't wait to watch your channel grow even more. Well, thank you. Here's a quick question. What's your favorite plant of all time and why? Okay, this is the second one, asking for a plant I like. I know I put a picture of a plant I like in here, but I can't remember which one I put in here. I put a daylily. Oh, I love daylilies, which makes sense because I picked it for a plant I love. So these are daylilies. I love them. Not any super big story behind them. They just grew everywhere around my childhood home, and I think they're gorgeous. I think those are good enough reasons to like daylilies. Oh, I also like sunflowers. I forgot to put them in here. I love sunflowers. Sunflowers are fantastic. I think that a lot of people love sunflowers. And I think it's good. It gives people a plant that they can attach themselves to, that they find beautiful. I like people discovering plants they enjoy. I don't care if a plant is overrated or loved more than another. I just like seeing people love plants. So I enjoy sunflowers. I think they're gorgeous. I love how big they can get. In some of the gardens I've worked at, there have been massive sunflowers. But also, in the Victorian flower language, sunflowers can be symbols of male healing, confidence, and self-esteem. And those are 3 things that really, hit hard. I love a flower that I can look at, and a flower that makes me think, this is a symbol of self-esteem. This flower is so bright and so gorgeous, and that's something that I can be too. Especially male healing, which I think it's funny they phrase it like that. Sunflowers aren't just for men. Anyone can love a sunflower. But something about a flower being a symbol of male healing, and in my mind, it's almost validating, because I feel like plants have healed me so much throughout my life. But then there's also the thing about, I dedicate a lot of my life to flowers, but I'm a guy, and someone decided that guys shouldn't like flowers. So I love the symbol of male healing. I think it's a very beautiful flower. This is the book where I get all of my Victorian flower language meanings, which I absolutely highly recommend for anybody to look at. This book, I would happily read it to you guys in an audio, except for the fact that it's kind of like a dictionary. so I don't know how I would read it and make it exciting. It's a fantastic book, a little bit difficult to read. So if any of you are looking for a resource on the Victorian flower language and all its meanings, I love this book. But if you can't buy a book, if you don't want to buy a book, if you don't want to spend money on a book, you can also Google Victorian flower meanings. I just like this because it's one place I can go and reference over and over again for the same things. This one's from Michael with some accents. Question, not really. From your past videos, you seem to be fond of plants. Oh, indeed. Astute observation. Curious as to how it started. I don't get to meet people who are keen for such things every day. Right, so I really just started loving plants from growing them. I grew up around people who were always growing plants. I mean, mini farms, taking care of the outdoor plants. But I think the first plant that made me realize that I would happily dedicate my life to plants was this parsley plant. It was just a parsley. It was an herb that we got from the grocery store, and I thought it was funny that it was shooting out of its herb box so quickly. They grow so fast, and I fell in love with this parsley plant. I loved it with all of my being. I transferred it into this massive pot, and by the time that its life came to an end, this thing was a parsley bush, not a little parsley sprig anymore. And after that parsley plant died, due to unfortunate circumstances, that's really when I started getting into taking care of other plants. I mean, I got my Monstera maybe a year or two afterwards, and she has been a very important plant to me. So it all started with parsley. Parsley is the beginning of it all. Questions from Anna Thompson. Let me see. Questions for the Q&A. Why did you start making audios? I have answered that question, but thank you very, very much for asking it. Do the people in your life know that you make these? I have also answered that question, but I appreciate very much that you asked it. How tall are you? Ouch. Height is something I'm very insecure about because I feel like it's the one thing that I can't change. You know, I'm a very, very body positive person. I love myself. I know that I'm not conventionally attractive, and I don't say that in a self-deprecating way. I think that, you know, I like myself a lot. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud of the way I look and how much I've learned to love myself. But my height is the one thing that I can't change. You know, it's the one thing that I feel like people see when they look at me first, and they make assumptions about it. Now, you're probably thinking, with all of this buildup about how insecure you are about your height, what is your height? And I'm very tempted to just not tell you, but I am 5'3" on a good day. Next question. What are you studying? I'm studying horticulture. Thank you very much for asking. Eye color. See, I think I put a picture in here because I wanted to be specific with my eye color. My eyes are something that I like about myself, and I'm proud of the things I like about myself. So, I forgot I put this in here. My eyes are not this color blue, but they are blue. And I put this picture in here because my eyes have this same weird little yellow ring inside of them that I've always liked. So I think you would say my eyes are like gunmetal blue. They're kind of grayish almost, dark blue, and they have this little yellow thing in the middle of them. What is my age? I'm not going to give my exact age for the same reasons. I'm probably not going to show my whole face just for safety. But I am a college student, so that's an age range for you. I am over 18. Don't worry about that. Sexuality and gender identity. If you're comfortable sharing, of course. Yeah, easy. So I identify as a male, and I identify as a gay male. I am a male who is attracted to other males. Simple. Next question, will you marry me? Depends. Next questions. Sebastian, I noticed there is usually a very quiet background, so where do you record your audios? My setup is non-existent. I don't have any kind of microphone. I'm recording on my phone voice memos app right now. Very quiet background. I'm in my apartment. alone on my kitchen table. So, there we go. Oh, this part isn't a question. Your videos always make me feel euphoric. That is fantastic. I'm so happy. Thank you for including trans masked people. It honestly means a lot. It makes me feel like one day I could get a boyfriend and be loved by them. You absolutely can, and you absolutely deserve that. See, I love seeing trans people feel included, but every time I see someone say, like, I'm trans, thank you for including us, we're never included, it makes me upset because I have never done anything in my audios that is explicitly for trans men. And like I said, all audios for men should be, trans men should feel like they can indulge. So the fact that I have not done anything but say that I'm an accepting person for trans men, and that is more than other people have done, it blows me away. So, thank you, Sebastian. All right, redacted. Are you the one who sent like 40? Yeah, okay. All right, redacted. Let's go. I just got done with working out to look more masculine. It's like a combination of masculine and muscular. And it's only my first day, so basically seeing this after I'm done is heavenly. I'm glad. Congrats on the workout routine. Thank you for making these. I never knew male for trans male audios were a thing. They are a thing, and they should be more plentiful. But I found out about it thanks to your channel, and ever since I discovered this channel, I felt so validated and really happy, and I wanted to thank you for that. You are very, very welcome. Dysphoria is no more. Congrats. Also, how do you have such a cute voice? That's another question I don't know how to answer, so I will say thank you very much. As for the questions, all right. Do you like/own plushies? If you do, how many and which one is your favorite? I do own plushies. I do like plushies. I only have one on my bed, and he's a squid named Jeremiah. Lucky number 7. If you enjoy watching anime, which one would you say is your favorite? I don't watch much anime right now. Like I said, I watched Given. I liked it. I watched Yuri on Ice. I was obsessed with that for maybe like a year. I'm going to say I really enjoyed Yuri on Ice when I watched it. Favorite show and movie? Oh, that's such a hard question. My favorite movie? I don't know if this counts as a movie, but recently I watched a bootleg of the Groundhog Day musical. So I'm going to say that's a good one. Favorite show? I watched Parks and Rec with my family once. That was a good show. Favorite color? Matcha green tea. That color. What are some hobbies that you enjoy? Well, I talked earlier about art. I really enjoy playing music of all sorts of kinds. I don't do much classical music anymore, but I have a nice collection of instruments on my wall that I indulge in pretty often. How/why did you decide to start an ASMR channel? I've answered that question. Thank you very, very much for asking it. Do you wear glasses in real life? I do. There are other ASMR artists out there who make male-for-male audios who don't use he, him pronouns. I might not have noticed it, but I couldn't see the pronouns you're using anywhere. If it's okay for me to ask, what pronouns do you use? I use he, him pronouns. Thank you for asking. If you enjoy playing video games, which one would you say is your favorite? I love Project Diva. Favorite cereal brand? Grape Nuts. If you know what those are, you either hate me for giving that answer or you somehow agree with me. Hoodies, sweaters, or t-shirts? I have to say sweaters. They're like the best of both worlds. Your favorite flower? Well, I have a lot, but this is one I included. This is an Asiatic lily. I've grown these before. I think this one specifically is a starlet Asiatic lily. But I was gifted these seeds once. I planted them in my garden, and they happen to be Asiatic lilies. And ever since then, I just get so excited when I see them. Your favorite food and drink separately? Well, I think a smoothie is probably both a food and a drink. But I said I loved smoothies, and I drink an absurd amount of tea. My tea collection is extensive. Thoughts on nature? Love it. Thoughts on the ocean? It's pretty great. Coffee or tea? Tea. If you're okay with it, do you have any phobias? Not any phobias that immediately come to mind. I'm afraid of many things, but I don't think I'm afraid of anything in excess compared to other things. I really don't like bugs. I love looking at them. I think they're so cool, but they move too fast. Bugs move too fast, and they're too unpredictable. I never know if one of them's going to have wings or not. I hate going to my front door and there being beetles flying everywhere. It freaks me out, and I don't know why. I know they're not going to hurt me, and they're gorgeous. They're beautiful bugs. There's a lot of beautiful bugs, but they freak me out. Favorite aesthetics? Clothing aesthetics or just general aesthetics? I love the solar punk aesthetic. I consider myself to be solar punk. If you know what that is, hello. As far as how I would dress myself, my current fashion is someone who's beginning to learn how to dress themselves, but just looks confused. I don't know how I would dress myself if I had the chance. I really like the academia looks. I like how soft they look and how I could look like a grandfather if I wanted to. Have you ever cosplayed before? I have not. Favorite season? Spring. Favorite book? My favorite nonfiction book is The Kite Runner, which is incredibly sad. But that's my favorite fiction book. That is a fake story, I'm pretty sure. As far as nonfiction books, I read a lot of nonfiction books that I really like in my ASMR videos. All of them have been about plants, but another one I like is The Body Keeps the Score, which is about the science behind PTSD. And it's a fantastic book. Oh, where was I? What question am I? Okay. Have you ever been abroad? If so, where? No, I've never been abroad, but I dream of it, and one day I will. Thoughts on puns? They're great. What color socks are you wearing? If you aren't wearing them, what's your favorite pair? I'm not wearing socks at the moment, but what pair do I like? I have these socks I bought from CVS when I was very young, and they have spiders on them, and they say eek, and they're Halloween socks. I love them. I don't love spiders, but I love the socks. Favorite animals? Well, leaf sheep. I love those. Anteaters. I love those. Let me think of another animal. I don't think I put another picture of one. What's another animal that I really like? Oh, horseshoe crabs. I love horseshoe crabs. Do you have any pets? Well, I have the family dog, who I love with all my heart. Do you have any siblings? I do have siblings, and well, I said I love my dog with all my heart, which I do, and I said I love my plants with all my heart, which I do, but I think my siblings are a little bit higher than all of them. What is your star sign / horoscope? I'm a Virgo, and that's all I know, and I don't know what being a Virgo means. I just know that I am one. What's your favorite word? My favorite word. When I was younger, my favorite word was ibuprofen. I don't know why. I have a page in an old journal of mine where I just wrote the word ibuprofen over and over again. It's a pretty good word, I think. Something that never fails to make you smile / happy. Well, either my siblings or my plants. Favorite song / band. Oh, it's so hard to give a favorite band or a favorite song. I'm going to check my Spotify. What is the most recent song I've listened to? That will be my answer right now. Let me see. I think you guys can hear the clicking of my phone. So let me see. The song I was listening to the last time I had my phone on was Miserable America by Kevin Abstract, which I think is a good song. I think that there is an explicit warning on it, though, if you're not a fan of explicit stuff. So, where was I? Are you an introvert, an ambivert, or an extrovert? I'm an introvert. Yeah, just because I need my time to recharge. Do you believe in luck? I don't believe in luck as a force. I believe in luck more as an adjective. Like if someone happens to have bad luck, I think you can use it, to describe, like, oh, I have really bad luck, things always happen to go wrong, but I don't think that luck is an actual force. If you do, good for you. Do you like mornings, afternoons, evenings, or nights the most? Temperature-wise and weather-wise and, like, being outside, I love right as it's kind of getting to evening, it's getting dark, you get to watch the sky cool down. You get to, I say cool down, I guess I mean cool down in color. But I'm the most active at night just because that's when my brain works. Are you a night owl? Yes. What's your height? 5'3". Do you have any tattoos or piercings? If not, do you want any? So my ears are pierced, and I have 2 tattoos on my thighs. A fact about yourself. Another fact about myself. Something about me. Something about me. Why is this the hardest question to answer? Let me look around my apartment. What is something about me? I own a melodica, which is like a very cheap fusion of a piano and a trumpet. I just think it's a hilarious instrument. Your idea for a perfect date. I love dates, at least beginning, like first dates, where the attention is kind of taken off you. There's no obligation to like make up a conversation for the entire time. Like if you're going out to dinner for the first date, I think that's a great way to get to know people, but it seems very anxiety inducing to me that you have to be responsible for keeping up conversation the entire time. So something like a museum, or, you know, my favorite date, going through the botanical gardens, where you have things around you that can help start a conversation. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live? Somewhere socialist. Denmark is looking good. Norway's looking good. Just send me to Scandinavia as far as their politics go. As far as weather goes, somewhere where the maximum temperature is like 68 degrees. I despise the hot weather. I would rather sit in sub-zero temperatures than deal with an 80-degree weather day. Favorite ship dynamic. I don't quite know what this is asking, if it's talking about fan fiction or something like that. Anything that has to do with soulmates, I love, because I'm a hopeless romantic, as I said. Have you ever read fan fiction before? If so, did you enjoy it, and do you still read fan fiction? I have read fan fiction. I haven't recently, just because I'm not really part of any fandoms at the moment, or I'm reading stuff for them, but I have. I think there's more than 40 questions here. I went overboard with it. Sorry about that, but I hope I could help out a bit. And sorry if any of these questions offended you in a way. You can just ignore them. Nothing there I think is remotely offensive, so you're very safe. Also, English isn't my first language, so I apologize if some stuff doesn't make sense. Your English is fantastic, first of all. Everything was perfectly readable. So thank you very, very, very much for submitting all those questions. Have a lovely day/night. Sending lots of love your way. Right back at you. All right, the Shungite Stone 2B. You've been doing this for 2 months, so maybe it's a bit early for this question, but do you feel any sort of burnout creeping in yet? Or do you think you'll be able to do this for a long time? So, no, I don't feel any burnout at the moment, but that's because I'm being very gentle with myself surrounding the whole thing, and I'm doing a once-a-week upload schedule, but I'm not setting anything in stone. I'm not telling myself that I have to produce so much a week or that I have to do things on certain days, because I think that pressure is what will cause burnout. But if I just do it at a pace that makes me comfortable, I think that, I think I'll be good to go for a while. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to promise anything because life is life. And promising things that you can't guarantee is a good way to set yourself up for disappointment. So, that was kind of a tangent. I don't feel any burnout. I enjoy doing this, and especially having people who, like you guys, leaving all these comments and leaving all these questions. That interaction and that feedback I get back from you makes me really want to continue doing stuff. From Potion Wolf. Sunny calls me handsome. Me gets super flustered. Sunny, tap, 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 breeze. Me and Sunny melts away. Sunny is a plant nerd. Me is also a plant nerd. I am a plant nerd. Plant buddies. Also, if Sunny is reading, yes, I am. Here's some questions. What's your favorite plant? Okay, what do I say this time? I don't think I put a picture. Oh, I did put a picture. Thank you, me from last night when I was thinking about how I was going to do this. I put a pineapple plant because once upon a time I somehow managed to grow a pineapple from the top of a pineapple from a grocery store, and now every time I see pineapple plants, I feel a sense of pride. What audios are you most proud of? Well, speaking of pride, I'm proud of all my audios. I don't have a massive collection at the moment, so there's not ones I really dislike. I mean, I could say my least favorite one is probably the sensual domination one, just because it was done from a script, and it's, when you read from a script, it's not made for you, and it's not made for your personality. So I love that script because it absolutely seems like something I would say and that I would do, but it doesn't change the fact that some of the things I said seem a little bit forced and seem not quite like me. So I'm proud of all of my audios, and like I said before, I want to try doing more stuff with scripts, but that was definitely one of the hardest ones to do. And will you be making any more reading to you audios? Yes, I will. Easy. Hey, this is for the AMA/QnA. Why did you decide to make this channel? Is it because you woke up one day and just decided to grab a mic and find a script? Well, I don't use an actual microphone, and I also don't use scripts. So, no. I would love to know. Okay, so what was the question? Why did you decide to make this channel? I think I answered it. To give back, to be the inclusivity that I need to see. Stuff like that. By the way, your audios are amazing and they help me a lot. I've been struggling with my gender identity, and hearing your audios always bring a smile onto my face. So thank you, Sunny, for all of your efforts and your work. You are very, very, very welcome, and I wish you good luck on your little journey. Okay, now these are some of the comments. Well, actually, I think they're most of my comments from my newer suggestion box. I figured I could go through some of them. This first comment just says, yeah, that was me testing to see if the box worked. So, next one. Someone suggested maybe more sleep aids or like mornings, maybe a dysphoria one. They mentioned Cardlin, who has a really good male for trans male dysphoria audio if I need inspiration or help. I've definitely had a couple requests for dysphoria audios, and I feel like being trans makes that so much harder of an audio to record, just because I know what would work for me, and I know how badly what works for me could work for other people. I mean, trans people, we're all so different. So that's the only thing that's making it difficult to do a dysphoria kind of audio. I am working on it. I definitely do want to do it, but it takes a lot of thought. I also appreciate that I'm somehow compared to Cardlin in any way. Hi, I really, really like the non-sexual domination. There's just something really nice about being able to be subby in a space where I can just focus and relax instead of get wound up, which is also nice, but there's definitely a time and place for that. I absolutely agree. Thanks for making some fantastic audios, and I look forward to new ones. I hope your day is going well and your nights are soothing. Thank you very much. This person suggested more reading sleep aids would be amazing. I love listening to you read about plants because I'm also a plant geek. Also, another suggestion is a storm comfort audio. Anyway, thank you for being our amazing sunshine. Well, thank you very much. The thing about the storm comfort audio, I need a little more clarification. Am I comforting someone who's afraid of storms? Or am I comforting someone during a storm? Because being afraid of storms and then an audio where I play storm noises are two very different things. As far as an audio where I just play storm noises, okay, my greatest weakness is my lack of any technical skill whatsoever. I mean, right now I'm screen recording a Google Slides presentation, and I'm recording an audio on my phone. That's an incredible amount of effort for me. I don't know how to do anything technically. So, just saying that I'd have to find storm noises and somehow make them sound natural and adjust volume levels and all that kind of stuff with my audio, I need a little more skill to do that. But it was something I will definitely add to my list. One thing I've noticed is lacking, similar to the dom-sub dynamic to soothe or calm someone down, is having a praise-heavy dom soothing a sub who feels that their subspace is to be wholly reliant on the dom's wishes, and as such is afraid to speak up. Having that dom comfort the sub and gently explain while voicing your feelings is perfectly acceptable sub behavior, and asking why the sub feels the way they do. This doesn't really have too much I can comment on, except I think it's a fantastic idea, and I will be adding it to my notepad. I think an audio where the listener is sick would be really sweet, something that involves lots of sleepy cuddles and comforting/caretaking. LOL. Love your stuff. Keep up the great work. Well, I think sleepy cuddles and comforting/caretaking are right up my alley, as the phrase goes. I think that's something I could absolutely do and that I would love to do. the next suggestion is some sick audios. So clearly you guys are sick and need a little bit of comfort. Hi. That isn't meant to be an insult. Hi, I was wondering if you could do a period comfort for trans men audio because I haven't been able to find any at all. Also, I wanted to say I love your videos so much. Thank you very, very much. Yes, I will absolutely be doing one of these because I have never seen one and I've looked for one. Your channel is a godsend. Please, your voice is so good and I love the content you make. I could only request a sleep aid that's like an hour at least since it takes me a while to fall asleep. It's cool if that's too much to ask for. Finding your channel is more than enough. Also, not to drag this out far longer than it needs to be. But what do you get when you cross a broke college student and a phone? ASMR video binges. Okay, that's all. Have a lovely day. Bye. I relate to that as a broke college student who has a phone. So longer sleep aids. I think a few days after this suggestion was made, I uploaded that hour-long sleep aid, which I definitely want to do more of. I know that when I'm listening to sleep aids, if it's too short, I won't even click on it. I understand having to have a long, kind of calm video in order to put you to sleep. So yes, I will be recording more long sleep aids. I don't really have any requests but to do exactly what you're doing, LOL. The whole boyfriend experience that you've been giving is what I'm living for, to be honest. It's almost like a series to me, sort of. You're just so comforting, and your laugh is just... Moral of the story, I love you, and anything you'll do, I'll more than likely enjoy. Thank you very, very much. You guys are so nice. Like, most of these suggestions, I haven't really had any negative suggestions. It's all just ideas for content, and then people complimenting me. And if you want to give me an ego boost, you're definitely succeeding. I kind of have a suggestion, or, well, I guess you could call it a request. There aren't a lot of audios that are targeted towards people who are more on the chubby side, for example, with thicker thighs. They either are oriented for the gender I don't identify as, or only mention things like that for a brief moment. I'm really sorry if this is too much. I also wanted to say that your audios are very nice. Keep up the good work. Sorry, my mind just blanked. There aren't a lot of audios that target people who are more on the chubby side, example, with thicker thighs. Oh, yeah, I've seen a very similar thing. I feel like a lot of the audios that are very body positive, I see a lot oriented towards women, which is perfectly fine, and, I love women loving themselves, but, men need to love themselves too, and especially chubbier guys who are insecure about that. I personally relate to that. I'd love to make something like that, so yes, that's going on my list. Hi, no pressure at all to fulfill this request, but I wanted to ask if you could maybe do something along the lines of a comfort audio for a listener who's been prescribed medication and that makes them sleepy. I got put on some new ADHD medications recently, and they make me super drowsy, and it's a bit frustrating falling asleep in the middle of the day while I'm trying to do things. Yeah, that sounds really frustrating. I'm sorry you're going through that, but I'm glad that you're getting on the medications you need, or at least you're on the journey to find the medications that you need. It would be cool to hear the listener get comfort due to their frustration about being so sleepy and falling asleep when it's inconvenient. I honestly don't know how much this gives you to work with, and if it isn't much, I'm sorry. It was just a random thought I had that I thought I'd send you. Again, no pressure at all, and I completely understand if this isn't in your comfort zone or if you don't want to. The one qualm that I have with you guys, that I have with my viewers, and all of you guys leaving these wonderful comments, I want to find who taught you that you need to apologize for things so often. You guys are giving such fantastic suggestions, and I'm asking for these suggestions, and you guys are being so polite and compliments and all sorts of stuff like that. So you have no reason to be apologizing, and you have no reason to be saying, sorry for my request, I don't know if you do this kind of stuff. Hey, that's why I have the box open. I want to hear everything, and I'm very sorry to those of you who feel like anything you say you have to apologize for, or that it's not welcome. Anything is welcome here. Audio suggestion. Hanging out with an online friend for the first time and winding down after a day of fun. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Confessing feelings that were already there but are stronger after meeting IRL. Asked to kiss listener. Listener's first kiss. And cuddle after. That's another good suggestion. I like it. Let me read over that again. Confessing feelings that were already there but are stronger after meeting IRL. I haven't done any confession type audio really. Everything has been in an established relationship. And I think that's because it takes some of the pressure off of me to create a scenario that makes sense, because if I just say, well, we're already dating, then it's okay. So once I get a little bit better at making these scenarios and getting into this kind of role play, then I would definitely like to do something like that. How about a male for male audio where you carry your sleepy boyfriend to bed? I can't remember if this was submitted either like the day before or the day after I did an audio where at the very end I mentioned carrying them to bed. I'll just have to do another sleep audio where I carry my boyfriend to bed sooner in the audio. You are the sweetest, most comforting person, and I listen to your work all the time because it makes me feel loved. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you very, very, very much. I'm glad I can be comforting. Like I said in the very beginning, being comforting and being someone who can make other people feel calm is very, very important to me. So it makes me really happy to hear that I can do that for you guys. All right, this is a little bit of a long one. Hi, so I honestly have no idea what I was going to write, but I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you and your audios. I'm a trans gay man, and I am so glad that I found someone who strictly makes male-for-male audios, and honestly feels really great to be able to listen to something like you, to listen to someone like you. And let me tell you, your voice is honestly amazing and very, very soothing. See, when I started doing this, I thought that, I was very insecure about my voice, because it's something I've been working on my whole life. My voice is something that's been changing. My voice is something that, is very closely tied to my gender identity and the way that I feel it. So seeing that you guys like my voice it makes me so happy. I'm guessing that you hear this stuff all the time, so I'm really sorry if this is one of the annoying things you get to see all over again. I will never get tired of reading what you guys say. I usually avoid going into the comment section of male-for-male audios because I usually just see girls trying to be funny by saying things like, oh, haha, this is for men, guess I'm a man now. And that honestly makes me feel really uncomfortable and invalidated as a trans guy. I think this is something that's very, very important for me to be including in this, and just to say in general, somehow, despite the fact that I make strictly male-for-male content, 44.3% of my fan base is female, which is fine. I'm okay with anybody listening to my content, and if you're a woman who is okay with me using like masculine terms for you or calling you my boyfriend or stuff like that in my audios, please keep listening. I love having you here. But I am a gay man, and I am a trans gay man. Gay man. Did I say men? I can't. I'm a trans gay man. So I relate to what this, I think your name is Kai. I relate to what Kai is saying. It can definitely make people feel uncomfortable because it's already hard to find content for gay men. And I want everyone to be able to listen to my content, but if you are a female who is listening to my content, just please, listen to people who say stuff like this, or at least just try to refrain commenting from stuff like this. I know it probably doesn't bother some people, but I hope you can see how that might make some men uncomfortable when you go and finally find content that's for you, that's for something you identify with, and it's, I don't know, and you see comments like that. Let me see. I didn't really look through your comment section for that exact reason, but I honestly feel like your fan base is gladly mostly actual guys, lol. 55%, so far I'm keeping a majority. By the way, I'm not saying that women can't listen to these audios, I'm just saying that there are enough male for female audios, and they could just give gay men our own safe space, Alright, I'm really, really sorry just for ranting. Don't apologize. I love reading these rants. But I was also wondering if there's any way to maybe send you fan art. I'm an artist, and I'd really like to send you some fan art of you. Okay, I think I'm done now. LMAO, have a great day/night, and stream one day by Lovejoy. Bye-bye. So as far as fan art goes, I've been asked this twice, and that is not a question I expected to hear at all. So, at the end of the video, I will have 2 different ways that you can contact me if you would like to send stuff or just interact with me. I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous. I'd die for an audio where you sing the listener lullabies to help him sleep. I'm pretty sure your singing/humming voice would be just as soothing, relaxing, and amazing as your whispered voice. Anyways, thank you so much for your hard work. Heart, stay safe. I would love to do a singing audio, but that requires confidence, and that requires balls that have not dropped yet. So I would love to do this. Like I said, I love singing and creating music, but to record it and to put it for everyone is a bit of a different story. But I really want to, and I promise you I'm trying. Hi, it's me again, the guy who asked you to listen to One Day by Lovejoy. If you did listen to it, did you like it? I did like it. I actually listened to it while I was putting together this slideshow. I honestly think this song and band is amazing. The song also just came out on the 10th, so the band is super new. It's usually not something I listen to. I rather like punk rock or louder music. It helps me with anxiety and feeling overwhelmed. Heh. How do I read that? By the way, I actually did read the comments under your videos, and I was really glad to find such a nice community. I know, right? The small amount of hate and comments that I've had to delete, it's so disproportionate to the amount of fantastic people I have commenting and talking to each other, or me talking to them, or them talking to me, all this sorts of stuff. I really appreciate it a lot. I also had a question. Will we ever get any Nsfw content from you? I really like the gentle, non-sexual domination, but I honestly think that would be absolutely great in a sexual way. Listening to male-for-male Nsfw audios helps a lot with dysphoria, but there aren't a lot of those audios, to be honest. They're usually just Patreon previews or something, lol. So, like I said earlier, it's something that I would like to do. I would like to create Nsfw audios, especially because I feel like being a gay trans man, I can give a little more trans representation to the gay male community, and I feel like that's kind of hard to find, especially in the Nsfw content field. But as far as your second comment about them being kind of difficult to find or being previews, like I said earlier, if I were to do Nsfw content, I would probably put it on a platform that is a little more restrictive. I mean, Reddit is like bare minimum because they kind of have age restrictions on subreddits, but it would probably be on a Patreon or something like that where I could have a bit more control over where my content is and who's able to see it. This doesn't mean that I would make my Patreon $20 a month. That's way too much. I'd probably have it very, very cheap just so I have the control, but so that I'm not robbing you blind of your cash in order to hear me probably very awkwardly moan into a microphone. But I have some pretty fun ideas for Nsfw content. And like I was saying earlier, I mean, I do a lot of soft dom stuff, but there's other stuff I can do, you know? Okay, have a great day/night, and thank you for the audios. You're loved and appreciated, Sunny. You are too. Thank you very much, Kai. I actually have something constructive this time. How would you feel doing a dysphoria comfort audio or comfort for coming out to transphobic parents? This is something else that's hard, because I feel like I've listened to dysphoria audios, some of which have been good, and some of which have kind of set me off. Not set me off, like I'm not triggered by them, but these kind of audios are very easy to pick words that have weird connotations to them, or to pick words that don't mean the same thing for everybody, especially when it comes to parents. I don't know everyone's coming out story. I know my coming out story, so I know what, like, my parents had said. So it is something I want to make, but it's something I need to think about more and to consider more before I actually make it. This suggestion: your girlfriend comes home after a bad day. Rest your head on my chest. Heartbeat cuddles to calm him down. This one confused me a little bit. I understand the concept you're asking for. Someone comes home after a bad day, lays on my chest, I'm presuming, and then I cuddle them to fall asleep. Are you asking for male for female content? Because while I don't mind women being here, I am a gay man and my content is made for men. Some of my content is kind of for anybody just because I don't use gendered terms in those audios, but at least in this moment in time, I'm most comfortable making content for gay men, or, for other men, by men who are into men, because that's what I am. So, if you're asking me to do male for female content, that's a maybe. I think the most I would do is M for A content. Your girlfriend comes home after a bad day, rests your head on my chest, heartbeat cuddles to calm him down. I get the gist. This is something I could do. Now, the specifics of who the girlfriend is and whose chest you're laying on and who he is over here, we'll figure it out later. But this is a fantastic idea. I love anything with cuddling people in my chest to go to sleep, or just comforting people in general. So yes. Hello, I quickly became obsessed with your audios and sleep aids. They're a great help, especially in these times of plague. I do have some questions, but please know that it isn't expected for you to answer anything, and that is too personal, and I hope not to make you uncomfortable. You have so much botany content, and it's great. Do you work in a field with plants? Well, like I said earlier, I'm a student, and I'm not majoring in botany, but I am majoring in horticulture, and they're very, very close, but a little bit different. So I do work in a field with plants. Now, the job I currently have isn't specifically with plants. I get to do a bit of gardening while I'm there, but my job isn't specifically plant related. If not, what type of work, if any, do you do? I'm not going to say exactly what I do for work, but I do work with a lot of different people. I work in some branch of customer service. That's what I'll say. Where was I? Your Dom sub-dynamic audios are literally the best thing since sliced bread. I know this is kind of a stranger question to ask, but how did you get so good at it? Even without being near each other, I feel fully relaxed and calm and sated. That's such a compliment. I appreciate that a lot. I don't know how to say how I got good at it. I think that the combination of being such a romantic person, like I know what I would want. Most of the time when I'm making content, I'm thinking, what would calm me? What is something I would appreciate? What are names I like being called? All sorts of stuff like that. So I know what I would like. I'm such a hopeless romantic, and also combined with maybe all the acting I did, makes it so I can create a pretty believable boyfriend experience. But other than that, I don't have too much experience in the boyfriend realm. All of your content is catered for trans men, which is the second best thing since sliced bread. Can you give advice on how to find trans communities? Because I've literally got one trans friend, and finding them was quite literally a lifesaver. I love them more than anything. The hardest thing is feeling alone and misunderstood, but your audios do alleviate that so much. Thank you for all the wonderful sleeps you've granted me. Well, first of all, just like, I know looking in my comments, I did not expect to find as many other trans guys or a community of gay men here that I did, and I love it. I love having a safe space here. I love meeting cis gay men, and I love meeting other trans gay men. It's fantastic. So content on how to find trans communities. I honestly feel like the internet is a pretty good bet. I mean, I don't use Facebook often, but I recently found that there's a bunch of trans communities in your state. I joined one for my state. I joined one for my kind of career field, and that's one way to see a community. Even if you don't interact with people much online, at least you get more exposure. I feel like I have met many trans people who are just my age, trans and gay people, but to see communities where I see much older gay men and I see much older trans men, and just to listen to some of the things they say and to have that kind of exposure, I think is a great thing. So I would say to look online. I don't quite know how to recommend finding trans people in real life. I have a question. Do you think you will have a Discord server? This question again, and there's two of them. 2 questions about having a Discord server. I would love to have a Discord server. I just don't know how to do it. So I'm going to do the thing I'm doing now, and if I find out how to make a Discord server... No, I know how to make a Discord server. When I get to the point where I understand it more and I get how to use it, I would absolutely love to. You are the sweetest, most comforting person, and I listen to your work all the time because it makes me feel loved. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you very, very much. You know what? You make me feel loved, so I hope you have a good day. This is slide 29. That's impressive. Okay, so I want more ways to be in contact with you guys. Not like giving you my personal phone number. I feel like if I say in contact, it makes me feel like we're going to have a business meeting together. But to interact with you guys. So I'm doing two things. First of all, I set up this email, contact.sunnyaudios@gmail.com. And if you have any scripts you'd love to send me, if you have any script ideas you'd like to send me, if you don't want to use a suggestion box, this would be a great place to send Kai. If you have fan art, if you want to send it here, you can do that. I would absolutely appreciate that. And anything else. So I have this email, and then secondly, something I'm very excited about, I made a Twitter, which I'm not much of a tweeter person. I'm not super active, but I think it would be really fun to talk to some of you guys when I'm not just creating audios and be able to ask questions and do polls and share pictures and all this kind of stuff. I think it'd be really fun. So my username is now up on the screen. I'm going to put it in bios as soon as I release this video and all sorts of stuff like that. If you're listening, it's at Sunny E Audios on Twitter. And I'm so excited for this. I am hoping I can also, meet some other voice, I almost said voice artists. I guess that's accurate, voice actors. If anybody who's listening to me is a voice actor, hi, I want to be your friend. I want to make other VA friends and, be able to talk about doing this and maybe get a little bit of technical help because I don't understand anything. But anyways, yeah, I set up a Twitter for you guys. And here's my little thank you slide. This is me as a leaf sheep thanking all of you. So what are we at right now? An hour and a half. So I hope you enjoyed the last hour and a half of me babbling to myself, sitting at my kitchen table at my computer. I like to imagine I'm talking to you guys, and I'm very, very excited to see your responses to some of the questions and to just interact with you guys and to have, this sense of community. It makes me really, really happy. So I guess that's it for this time, and I will see you guys in the next ASMR video I post, or I'll see you over on my Twitter, or I'll see you over on Reddit, which I don't do much except for post my videos over there. But once again, thank you guys very, very, very much. Thank you for submitting everything. Thank you for listening to everything here, and I'm excited to keep working with all of you. So, until then, stay happy.